Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. We are back for our fifth match of the night. We're heading on into the Prospect League, where we'll have the number 4 Bandits going up against the number 5 Faded. Your boy Psychonautic in the booth, ready to bring you some of that sweet play-by-play action for the Prospect League, and I'm joined by the news team lead, Speed Demon. How you doing tonight, my bud?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been a wonderful night of games so far. Very exciting. And, they're only going to get as exciting, if not better. We come here to my home league here in the Prospect League. And, I've played these teams. I've played Faded twice in this season as they were in my division. And this is definitely going to be be a great series here.
Yes, it certainly is, and the implications in the playoff bracket are looking pretty tasty. Nobody from the upper bracket has secured a spot in the semifinals yet, so the winner of Bandits and Faded will be the first to move on, and we will be seeing Origin versus Melons later on in the week to see who will be facing off against the winner tonight in the semifinals. And then if you look on over at the odds, we had this up a little bit earlier. You can see that it's a pretty close match, a little bit in favor of Faded here, 51.5% over the Bandits, 48.5%. And that this being your home turf here, Speed, why do you think that is? What do you think Faded has what do you think gives them the edge?
Well, I think two things here. I think the biggest thing here is the divisions that they come from. Um, Bandits division, they ended up winning their division, but they did have a fairly weak division this season. And Faded had a very strong division. As three out of the four teams ended up making at least the play-ins. And one of those teams being the number 2 seed overall. So they're coming from a very strong division. As you know, the last few games of the season are divisional opponents. So I think they've gone up a couple great opponents, and they may be coming in as a slight underdog with the 5 seed against the 4 seed, but I think they are, projected to win just because of that.
We will see if the community is right, or excuse me, not the community, but if the power rankings hold true here, or if the Bandits are able to upset Faded as we get into the first kickoff here of this best of 7 series. Bandits running with Air Sweeney, Stack Jam, and Frosty, while Faded have fielded Bemar, Chixa, and Eggster. In the first 15 seconds seems to be going in favor of Faded as they try and get some sort of offensive pressure. Not able to generate much. The Bandits are able to get the ball out, get the ball down back into Faded's defensive zone. Air Sweeney coming through, but he can't get it into a dangerous area. Bemar gonna fall out of the corner. Bemar missing his touch. Stack Jam gonna stick with it, puts it off the sidewall, but Exer gonna take it away from him. Exer gonna get the exiting demo on Frosty, but nobody from Faded is able to capitalize on the situation as the ball gets pinched all the way back over to the other side. And now we're seeing Faded still hold a lot of offensive pressure here as Bemar takes it down and takes it away. Excuse me, he was trying to get that away from his net, but Bemar has a look at net, doesn't go in, and goes up and over. Chixa trying to keep the pressure, is going to miss the ball. Exter as well trying to keep it going. Air Sweeney just taking it away from Faded's offense. As the Bandits send it back down. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Stack Jam taking the first shot for the Bandits, but Chixa going to make the save there. And I got to say, Speed, there doesn't seem to be a lot going on aside from back and forth so far through the midfield. It's like one team will just clear it, and then the other team almost immediately clears it.
Yeah, and that's kind of how you'll see with this Bandits team. They're not a very high-powered offensive team, but they will lock you down defensively, and that's why it kind of seems like Faded has had a little bit more of the pressure here early on, as Faded just has a high go powered offense, and Bandits favor to their defense and really playing strong with their rotations and looking for those counters. So You know, two different play styles that kind of match up well. High-powered offense, really sustained defense. You're not surprising me the way this game's starting, where Faded has seemed to have all the pressure so far.
Shiksa was up having a look there, but her touch is going to go high and wide. The ball still flounders in the midfield. Neither team really able to dig their heels in yet. Eggs are going to 50 in the midfield. It does go in favor of Faded, but Eggs are not really be able to do anything with it. Stack Jam traps it and takes it away. Frosty and Air Sweeney double. Frosty going to turn off and leave it for Sweeney. The ball's in front of the net, but nobody from Bandits there to take a shot. Stack Jam going to keep the pressure up for the Bandits, but the ball does get cleared out. Bemar sending it down. Frosty gets dunked by Chicks as the ball's out in the mid in front of Bandits' net. Nothing going to happen from there as Air Sweeney's just going to send it away. Stack Jam 50s with Chicksa in the mid. Frosty to send it down. And it's looking to have a little sustained pressure here, but Egster going to 50 through Frosty in the backfield. Stack Jam keeping it up. Bemar pops it. Frosty off the sidewall, not getting the touch he's looking for. Air Sweeney's going to try and take control in the midfield. Gets it down past Faded defense. Bemar has to make the touch off the sidewall, off the back wall. He does to clear the ball out as we reach the final minute here of game number 1. We're still locked in 0-0 scoreline here, Speed, and I really can't tell who has the edge here. Faded seems to be in their offensive zone more often, but they're non-threatening to the Bandits.
Yeah, they're trying to get looks, and they're just kind of sending it high over the backboard. Nothing too dangerous, like you said, but they do have possession in the offensive end more than the Bandits do, but the Bandits have had quite a bit of more threatening appearances. So honestly, it could go either way. Either the Bandits are going to capitalize on one of these, or Faded's going to be able to just, end up tightening up their offensive pressure a little bit more, and they're going to be able to put one in. But with it coming down to now the final 30 seconds, I definitely think this is going to remain a 1-goal game.
And we'll see if in these final seconds either team's able to secure a goal and a win. And it looks like a pinch is coming from all the way down. Eggster's going to get credit for it.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate right there for the Bandits. That's a great challenge right there, trying to keep the pressure in with limited time left and trying to make something happen, and the pinch just goes the wrong way there for Bandits. And giving Faded that 20-second left remaining 1-goal lead, they kind of just have to pack it down and knowing that the Bandits are going to come out full force here.
In the final 10 seconds, Bandits have to get a little pressure. Sweeney gets the ball all the way down. It has a chance to get something going here. Frosty was there, but isn't able to get it through the defense. Faded are your winners for game number 1.
Honestly, this game could have gone either way. You hate to see it that the one goal that was scored was a long pinch goal, and just very unfortunate for the Bandits there. But I can't say whether Faded really deserved that win or Bandits did, because it was pretty 50-50 for the whole first match. So it's gonna honestly come down to who comes out early in this game too, to try to really take control of this series, because I didn't really see much from both teams coming out.
Yeah, I would expect Bandits is going to want to come into the next game playing fast and strong. And really, if I was playing on the Bandits, I would think that you'd need to do everything, be super hyper aggressive, and get Faded on their heels. Maybe stick a couple balls off their backboard, try and get some looks on net, and then punish them whenever they make defensive mistakes. But Faded staying strong in that first game. We'll see if they're able to continue the win streak here in game number 2, as Exter's up looking for a touch on the ball but doesn't find it. Chicksa missing her touch off the sidewall, but she ends up getting the block anyways. It gets bumped by her teammate Bemar in the backfield. Stack Jam pinches it out to the mid. Chicksa with the booming clear. Chicksa to follow, but she can't beat Sweeney. Sweeney in the midfield relinquishes to Bemar. Chicksa almost finding the redirect look there. Bemar sends it down. Exter looking for the shot. It's going to go wide. The Chicksa's going to keep the pressure up. It looks like to me, Speed, that Faded is doing exactly what I suggested for the Bandits to be doing here.
Yeah, they're coming out hot. They're coming out with all the pressure here. You know, it hasn't quite had any too scary threats, but if they keep this up, they keep, you know, starving this Bandits defense in their defensive half, they're bound to find one eventually.
With 3 minutes 45 seconds left on the clock, still plenty of game to be played here. Neither team finding the back of the net just yet. Sweeney going to put a long ball on. Easy save for Chicksa, but Frosty puts it back up. Eggster going to be forced to go up and make the stop there as Bemar waits for Sweeney's touch in the corner. Sweeney again gets the touch, but it gets bumped by Chicksa. Stack Jam putting one on Frosty off the backboard, but Eggster was there to make the stop, and they're going to take advantage of the counterattack. Eggster with the goal for Faded.
And that was actually a own goal there after Stackton was trying to recover and flipped out of the Faded goal and hit that all the way back past his last defender. And Eggster, with the last touch for the Faded squad, is going to record that goal. And that is now not one, but two unfortunate own goals, so to speak, for this Bandit squad. And it cost him there in game one, but they have plenty of time left here in game two to try to recover from that. But, you know, that has got to be demoralizing to them at this point.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That is definitely not the way you want to play in playoffs, or not how you want things to transpire. However, I gotta say that Eggsy's got the luck of the Rocket League gods on his side tonight, as both of those lucky goals came out and recorded for him. And we see him in the corner trying to find Bemar. He does, but Bemar's shot gonna go a little bit high over the net. Chicksa trying to clean it up, but it gets sent away. Eggster keeping the pressure up, going for the bump play. Stack Jam gets away from him to clear the ball out, and Chicksa sends it to the other corner. Bemar's up, gets the touch out of the corner. Eggster was there, but he misses the touch. Chicksa trying to clean it up. Her shot goes wide, but she's up for the pass. Almost finds an amazing angle, but the ball gets sent away. Frosty looking for the redirect. Eggster gonna take the threatening play out. Chicksa up in the midfield, gets an awkward touch on it, sending it to the side. Bemar trying to do something with it. He gets bumped out by Frosty, and Sweeney gets the ball taken by Eggster, who passes it to the mid, but nobody from his team there to get the look on net, as we are now well into the second half of this match. Faded still up by one here, Speed, and things aren't looking good for the Bandits just yet.
No, they still really haven't gotten any offensive pressure on the Faded half. The ball's gotten down there, but, you know, they just kind of ping it around the top of the net once, and then Faded's able to gain control and have a good solid stint in their offensive half. So Bandits really have to figure out, as Chicksa tries to slide it across, but Bemar is just too far away to be able to get a touch and try to put that on net. But yeah, this Bandit squad, if they got to get going, they got to get going now, as, you know, we are approaching 1 minute left remaining in this game now.
Yeah, and I know it's only one goal. It could be any second, but Bemar's going to make it a second goal and extend Faded's lead just a little more.
Yeah, great play right there by Bemar. You know, he sees that the last defender is kind of out of position, able to just pop it up over one, don't need to do anything fancy, and just put it on target at this point and make this Bandits team make plays. And that's what, honestly, that's what Faded's doing at this point. They're just kind of let Bandits beat themselves, honestly. Faded hasn't done anything too special to earn their 3 goals at this point. So I think if you're Bandits, you know, you might possibly think about taking your timeout after this game and just really try to, you know, refocus and start at square one on how you want to play as your team.
That's some good advice there. Eggster trying to find Chicksa in the midfield, and he does. Chicksa gets the shot, but it does get blocked by Bandits defense, as Bandits hold strong on the defensive line. Stack Jam stays back, looking for the boom and clear, and he does find it as it gets sent all the way back to Faded. Frosty keeping the pressure alive. He gets bumped by Bemar, but he's able to stick with the ball, trying to find it in the mid. He does get it past the defender, but Stack Jam just a little too slow, not able to get a shot on net. And the ball is up, and only a second remains, and Faded are your winners for game number 2, taking just a little bit more of a lead in this best-of-7 series.
Yeah, Faded, again, you know, they're playing really solid. They haven't made hardly any mistakes. I don't think I've seen a double commit come out of them yet. Maybe one. But obviously, as you can see, it hasn't hurt them. They're just playing really solid. It looks like their comms are on point. Um, so they're definitely coming out. They want it. And I think what's the scary part is, and in my opinion, I don't even think they're rolling with their best roster. They typically play a four-man roster. They switch out their four players evenly, and they do have a player that's not in the lobby right now, but he is on the bench, and in Vicious Oreo, who I think adds them a little more offensive power than what they have. And I think they're trying to go a little more defensive here with Chixa, but I think when they have their offensive power, obviously that just adds so much more pressure on defenses. So they're definitely looking scary, especially with them with their more defensive lineup.
And it does seem to be working out for them. They just have to hold strong on the defensive line. They know Bandits are going to, we all make mistakes. So, of course, the Bandits are going to make a mistake. And as long as they're in correct position to capitalize on said mistakes, then they can play a solid defensive game and control the pace of not only the game, but they seem to be controlling the pace of the series as well. As Exter sends that up and over, he's not able to get it past the defender. Stack Jam trying to get it through the mid. Chicksa going to take it away from him. Chicksa sticking with it in Bandit's corner, but Frosty takes it from her, stops the offensive drive. And Exter, a little bit awkward, going to get helped out by Bemar as he booms the ball all the way back down to the Bandits' defensive zone. Chicksa going to miss her touch and immediately get demoed by Sweeney. And the ball is dangerously in front of Faded's net. Frosty getting a shot, but it's going to bounce off the post. Bemar with the dunk off the sidewall, but Frosty takes control, traps the ball in the corner, gets it past Chicksa, is there for the second touch, gets it past Egster. He's going to stick with it, but he panics a little in the corner. The double commit comes out from the Bandits, and Bemar is able to take the ball away from him. Sweeney trying to get it back in front of Faded's net. Stack Jam is there to help him out. Bemar putting it off the ceiling and down. Exter with the booming clear, but Sweeney sends it into his own corner. About 45 seconds before we reach the halfway point here in game number 3 speed. And honestly, this is looking par for the course here. Both of these teams just playing very deliberate, very slow, but seems like Faded just has a little bit of the edge here.
Yeah, and no, it's nice to see though, Bandits, you have seen a little more offensive pressure come out of the Bandits, as it looks like we are going to have a Rule 1 here in the corner between Stacks Jam and Exter, and that might give them a little bit of an advantage. And I think this is the time where you really need to see for the Bandits, Frosty step up. We haven't really seen too much from Frosty, and I think if Bandits want to see, a different outcome here coming into the rest of the series, as there it is with a pass from Sweeney, Frosty steps up right on cue.
And you called it, ask and ye shall receive. Bandits getting the advantage because of the Rule 1 or Rule 2, depending on whatever era you're from, that was going on in the corner there. 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock now. Bandits with their first lead in the series. I think that might have even been their first goal, if I'm not correct, Speed.
I believe it was. That was their first goal, and I think it couldn't have come at a better time for them right now.
Yes, I fully agree. They really need some momentum. Frosty getting in front of that, making the save. And oh my goodness, Chicksa almost finding a dirty double touch right there, but the ball does go wide. Bemar coming off the backboard, looking for the double, can't find it. Frosty sends it out. Exter trying to keep the pressure for Faded, but Stack Jam sends it away. Chicksa and Air Sweeney with the 50. Frosty can't get it through Chicksa. Stack Jam up the sidewall. Coming off the sidewall, trying to follow it down to Frosty. Frosty finds the touch, and what placement from Frosty.
Great play right there. Great effort by Stack Jam to be able to get that middle, and great read by Frosty, and a great touch. Not only does he place that perfectly, he places that back across his body or across his card to be able to tuck that into that back post corner. And like I said, if Bandits want to have a difference outcome, they need to get Frosty involved, as Chicksa is going to put that one right there off of an unfortunate, kickoff.
Yeah, Chicksa with the long ball, gets the dunk on Stack Jam there in the midfield and gets the sniper goal. And I believe that's her first goal of the series, and she cuts the lead of Bandits in half. Stack Jam's going to win the 50 there at the kickoff. Bemar in his own corner. Bemar gets it through Frosty, but is a little awkward, can't follow the ball. Chicks are going to wait back for Stack Jam's touch, and proves to be fruitful for her. But Sweeney getting a shot on net. Exter was there at the last second to knock it away. Frosty trying to follow out of the corner, but he's not going to be able to. Exter with the clear, sending it all the way back down. Exter again out of the corner, puts it in front of the net, but Sweeney knocks it away. Sweeney might have a chance here. Bemar takes it from him. Exter gets bumped out. Frosty misses his touch. This is dangerous. Stack Jam's there. He fakes out two of the defenders, but nobody from Bandits able to do anything with the ball as it floats helplessly in front of Faded's net. Bemar looking for a long ball, but Stack Jam gonna deny him as Air Sweeney and Frost double on the backboard, but get the save. Exter still there, finds the bar down and ties us up at 2.
Yeah, you see Bandits panic a little bit. They get that double commit there, pinch it off the wall, and Stack Jam unable to get back in time as Exter hits the crossbar down and in, and what a beautiful shot by him, and tied it up with 35 to go. And this Faded team does not want to let down the game in this series at all.
In the final 30 seconds here, we'll see if either of these teams are good enough, or not good enough, but have what it takes to get a final goal in regulation, or if we are going to see an overtime here in game number 3. As Chicksa in the midfield trying to find Bemar. Stack Jam sends that all the way back down to Faded's corner. Exter missing his touch. Frosty missing as well. Stack Jam with the back pass to Sweeney with the heater on net, but Bemar pops it up. Sweeney keeping it alive. Bemar as well sending it out of Bandit's corner. Frosty to put that one down, and we have our first overtime of the series here in game number 3.
Yeah, that indeed we do, and I think the key factor here for Bandits is, like I said, Frosty's got to be important here if they want to get this overtime win and not go down 3 games to none. And if you're Faded, I think you just got to keep playing your game plan and just wait until this Bandits squad possibly makes a mistake and just capitalizing on it like you have most of the series. But Exter is going to pull out the dribble moves and beat all 3 of the Bandits defenders there.
Very nice play. Way to get up underneath the defender. Air Sweeney was not expecting him to be able to control it under his teammate like that. And Exter showing off a little bit there at the end, catching the dub for Faded. Faded now up by 3 in this best of 7 series, standing at match point, looking at the sweep on Bandits, and you know they got to be feeling good right now.
They really do got to be feeling good. And if you're the Bandits, I think you have to take your timeout. You have a tactical timeout. You're down 3 games to none. Like, what better time to take a tactical timeout? And there it is. He did call it. Stack Jam called it. They are going to take that tactical timeout. So we will have an extra minute on the clock for them to recuperate, for them to talk things over, and try to figure out a new game plan to come out and take on this hot Faded team right now.
Yeah, I fully agree. Now, the Bandits did better in that match than they did in the first 2 matches, but they still obviously were lacking just a little bit, making just the fatal mistake that they made there in the overtime, allowing Faded to get the goal and get the win there. But, you know, they have to build on that. They have to take game number 3, build on it, not allow it to get inside their minds, not allow it to demoralize them, because they actually do have momentum now. Whereas it felt like in game number 1 and 2, they were sort of dead in the water most of the time. But now they're looking at the possibility of bringing something back. It's going to start with this game right here, Speed. If they can do this, if they can win this game, I think that they can build enough momentum to possibly pull off a reverse sweep.
And that they could. They are coming in as the 4 seed for a reason. You know, they came in maybe not as hot as they would like in this series, but you know, they're a 4 seed for a reason. So they just gotta, like you said, they have a little bit of momentum. They gotta just tweak just a couple things. And you know, they almost had this Faded squad in that game 3. So if they can just really fine tune what they figured out there in game 3 and just propel that forward and start just, limiting their mistakes that they're making just a little bit, that this Faded squad is you know, capitalizing on. Like you said, I do believe that they do have the potential to be able to pull off this reverse sweep, but it's just at this point they got to just play one game at a time and take it at that one game at a time.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Starting it off here, game number 4, we take it to the Coliseum. And this is a do or die moment for the Bandits. A loss here will send them home and end their season. And Air Sweeney out of the corner. Exer gonna pressure him, put it back into the corner. Stack Jam trying to take it slow. Bemar gonna get there and try and dunk it off of him, but Stack Jam is able to get it away from him. So Chixa's gonna keep the pressure alive. Exer with the backfield demo on Sweeney. Exer can't get it through the defender there in the midfield. Stack Jam, Bemar gonna collide with each other, completely missing the ball. And Air Sweeney gonna send it down. Chixa to take it away from him. Frosty puts it out to the mid, but nobody there to receive the pass. As Sweeney pops it up from his defensive zone. He's there trying to follow. Frosty leaves it for him. Exter forced to make a save there and does. The Stack Jam trying to keep the pressure up for Bandits. Bandits playing more aggressively so far than they have been. Stack Jam in the midfield trying to stick to it. Chixa gonna take it away from him. Exter 50s with Frosty. The ball's up. Sweeney's there, sends it down. Could be a look. Frosty, I think, went with the, I think he got the, excuse me, fake there. What a heads up play from him.
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to get a touch or if he was just looking for that fake, but either way, that banging shot from beyond half, able to sneak in between two of the Faded defenders and give this Bandit squad a 1-0 early lead, and they got to be feeling good after that one, because that was a beautiful shot right there for them. So they got to keep this momentum that they're feeling right now. Obviously that timeout worked for them a little bit, and they got to be feeling good, and they just got to roll with this momentum, and they cannot slow down.
I fully agree. As we saw in the last game, they were able to take the lead, a 2-point lead, and then they ended up dropping it, and it turned out to be a loss for them. But they have another chance here to get this going in favor of them. We'll see if they're able to do just that, or if Faded can pull the reins back, tie us up, possibly even take the lead and shut Bandits down with a clean sweep. Exter with a good demo, but Bemar is able to stop the shot from Stack Jam, as Faded has a good offensive play there. Bandits defense holds strong. Exter trying to get it out. Air Sweeney gonna keep the offensive pressure for Bandits, put it in front of the net, but Chixa sends it away. Frosty is sending it back down to Stack Jam, but Exter gonna beat him to the ball. Sweeney taking a look on net, and he's gonna get it through the defender. Great placement on that shot.
Yeah, overall, Bandits looking really good. They're putting the pressure on. They're putting shots on the net. They're making Faded make saves. And unfortunately, Chixa was not able to get up, as that one was a beautiful placement again by this Bandits team, and sniping the corners when they are scoring. So, they're making it really hard on this Faded squad to even make saves when they are putting these shots on target.
Bemar making the save there as Air Sweeney takes a shot. Air Sweeney again on the ball, off the backboard. Stack Jam, he's there. He takes the shot, and Chixa unfortunately own goals that, sending Bandits lead to 3.
Yeah, I think that was one of those ones that she kind of had to go for, as it was going to bounce across the goal line there, and unfortunate, it just bounced right into her car, into the net. And now Faded has some work to do if they want to try to take this in a sweep fashion, but they do have to realize and not panic that they do still have a 3-game lead. That it can, it can happen. But they just got to take it a little slower and relax and realize that they do have some comfort room.
And will they be able to do just that, or are Bandits not only going to keep this lead here, but start mounting a comeback in the series? Exter trying to get it through the defense. Frosty gets the stop, but then immediately bumps, so he can't follow his clear. Stack Jam gonna help him out and clear the ball out. Air Sweeney gets beat by Exter in the backfield. Frosty Sends that one all the way to the other corner. Stack Jam, 50s. It's out to the mid. Air Sweeney's there. He finds the pass, and he gets the goal.
That indeed, and this Bandit squad is heated up. They have found their rhythm, and Faded just doesn't know what to do with it right now. They are just kind of lost, as we still have a minute and a half left in this game, and Bandits have scored more in this game 4 than they have the rest of the series combined already.
And this is looking like a wash for Faded. They might just have to put this game behind them. Move forward. Chixa gets the 50, sending it down. You know, Faded probably still looking for at least a goal or two to walk away with and build a little momentum of their own. Bemar picking up his savior medal. And the final minute winds down from the clock. Bandits 4-0 lead as Air Sweeney puts another one on, but Bemar's ready for it. Sends it all the way in to Bandits defensive zone. Bemar with the shot. Sweeney with the save on the goal line. Chixa trying to get it through, but unable to. Frosty's up. He gets a good clear into the mid. Bemar pops it. Bemar to follow. Gets the touch off the backboard. Sweeney 50s with extra. It gets pinched into the corner as we wind down the final 30 seconds here, Speed. And it's looking like this game is all but washed out for Faded.
Yeah, that it is. You know, if you're Faded, you got to just start looking toward the next game. Try to build and get momentum. Maybe get one goal here to end this game. But at this point, like I said, you just got to look forward to the next game. Know that, okay, they got one on us, but we still have our on match point. So they just need to find the way to muster and get one more game out of the next 3 to be able to pull this off. And if you're the Bandit squad, you just got to keep rolling and fighting. And, you know, great turnaround here by that Bandit squad. You know, losing the first 3, kind of getting destroyed in the first 3, if I'm gonna be honest. But, you know, with how they just turned around there in game 4, it's almost like it's a whole different team.
Whatever they did during that timeout definitely worked for them. Not to take away credit from them. Game 3, they played a lot better than they did in the prior 2 games before that. However, it wasn't good enough to take the win from Faded. But game 4, they did play good enough to not only take the win, but they kind of sent a message there to Faded. Don't underestimate us. Don't think that you've got this in the bag yet. We do have pop-off potential, and we will put it to use. And we'll see if they're able to carry this momentum into game number 5, or if Faded are going to shut them down once and for all in their season here and secure their spot in the semifinals. As the ball's popped up, Bemar in the corner. Bemar trying to follow. Not going to be able to. Stack Jam sends it into his own corner. Sweeney's there for the clear, and he booms it all the way down. Sweeney trying to get to it, but Chixa beats him out. Stack Jam a little bit awkward. Chixa trying to find the pass. Frosty sends it away. Frosty with the boom in the midfield. Frosty another touch, and he finds the angle, and that was dirty.
Woo! Frosty is feeling himself right now. This Bandit squad is on fire. That is 5 unanswered goals for this Bandit squad, and Faded has to now find a way to try to come up with something to stop this, you know, Bandits offense, which is really honestly surprising me. Bandits are known for their strong defensive pressure, which they're showing, but they're not really strong, known for, you know, putting up 4 or 5 goals a game. And they're starting off early with last game and early on in this game, as Stack Jam's going to put in their second one just over a minute in.
Air Sweeney putting it on, forcing Chixa to make a defensive touch. Her touch goes straight up and drops down in front of Faded's net. And a good heads up from Stack Jam there, able to finish the ball out and get Bandits lead up to 2. A bit of a double commit from the Bandits, but Air Sweeney sends it past the defender into the corner, leaves it. Stack Jam, he's there, he takes it away. That's bouncing off the backboard, and Chixa gonna send it out. Exter can't get it through. 2 of Bandits coming in, trying to take a shot on net. And Bemar missing his touch. Can't beat Sweeney to the ball. Sweeney gets it past Exter, clears it out. gives Bandits a little breathing room. Stack Jam gets a boom out of the midfield. Bemar to send it back into the midfield. And it seems like we are going back and forth a little bit here, seemingly like the first couple of games. They just went back and forth in the midfield for a little bit. Chicksa in her own corner. Stack Jam missing his touch. Frosty's there to help him out. Getting some awkward touches of his own. He's just sticking with the ball, being aggressive. Sweeney trying to get the dunk off, but the ball goes wide as we enter in to the second half of game number 5 here. Bandits still up by 2. Faded trying as they might, but the Bandits, I don't know, Speed. The Bandits are looking really strong right here. Uh, they are just looking really good.
Yeah, they are looking good. It's either, honestly, in this game, it's either been Bandits have had like full control and full pressure, or they've just been kind of playing ping pong back and forth, like you mentioned. So as long as they can keep doing that, oh no, Frosty's gonna dunk it in and give him a 3-goal lead with 2:16 to go. And the longer this game goes, at Faded is not getting much offensive pressure, the more that they are really gonna start panicking, and they have to find a way to try to turn this around.
And Frosty certainly seems to have found his groove, and he seems to be playing much better than he was in the beginning of the series, as he's been pretty integral in the last 2 games to the success of the Bandits. Air Sweeney pops it up in the midfield, but gets bumped by Chicksa. Frosty's back, makes the stop in his defensive zone. Frosty to follow out of the corner, pops it to the mid. Bemar to clear for Faded. Stack Jam gonna send it away to the side, keep it out of a dangerous area for his team. Extra to the corner. Sweeney pops it out, but Frosty gets demoed by Bemar, not able to stick with the play. Chicksa comes out of the corner, missing the touch. Frosty off the sidewall. Sweeney can't beat Exer. The ball gets pinched all the way across to the other side. Bemar off the backboard. Sweeney is able to stick to it. The double commit comes out from Faded in the defensive zone. Another one. Exter with 2 touches, but it doesn't do much as Stack Jam has an easy shot on net, and we are back again at a 4-0 scoreline in this game.
That's now what, 8 unanswered goals scored by the Bandits here. I don't know what happened in that tactical timeout. I don't know if Sands went in there and yelled at this Bandits roster. I don't know what happened, but whatever they did, it is working, and it is working extremely well. And if you're Faded, you have to take your timeout after this game. You just have to. You have to now take a timeout and hope that whatever Bandits did, that you can go ahead and do for yourself after your timeout, as with 45 seconds to go, down by 4 yet again in back-to-back games, after having such a commanding pressure in the first 3, you've got to change something up.
And that's very true, and I'm interested to see if they change up the roster or the fielded team, because didn't you mention earlier that Faded actually has their sub Vicious Oreo waiting in the wings?
Yes, he did. They do have him waiting in the wings. He did originally join the lobby, but for stream matches, as you know, we can't have subs in the lobby just because of all the casters and the limit of players that we can have in here. So I did see a presence of him earlier. So I know he is here and able and ready to play. So I wonder if that will be something that they take care of as well.
And as the final seconds wind down, that's a wash for Faded here in game number 5. Bandits gonna take that series, now sitting at 3-2, still in favor of Faded. Faded has 2 more chances to send Bandits home, but Bandits looking hot right now, not looking at slowing down. And we already said it once, but now I feel it more than ever that Bandits might have a reverse sweep here.
That they do. As we are going to have a timeout by Faded. You know, they still have to win 2 more to get the reverse sweep. But little fun fact for you here, Psycho. Last year, Bandits came into the tournament as a 7 seed. Excuse me, they came in, I believe, as the 8 seed. And they were going up against the number 1 seeded Hypernova. And they almost had a reverse sweep last season against the number 1 seed as they did force a game 7 after going down 3 games, but they were unable to clinch that game 7 and get that complete full reverse sweep. So, you know, hopefully history doesn't repeat itself for them and they can actually complete it this season.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty coincidental that they were almost able to pull that off last season, and they find themselves pretty much in the exact same position this season. I would say it's certainly redemption time, and based on the last two games, Bandits are ready to be redeemed, ready to move on into the semifinals, and definitely ready to get this reverse sweep on the Faded roster, and it's not looking like Faded is going to make any changes, at least to the players that they're fielding. Chixa, Eggster, and Bemar all still in the lobby, and you gotta. So let me ask you, Speed, if you're Faded right now, let's just say you're on Faded's team. What are you talking about in your comms? What do you think's going through these guys' head? I mean, they're still up in the series, but it's I don't know. It's Are you scared or are you confident?
I think I mean, obviously, you got to be a little scared. You just got beat 2 games in a row by a score of 4-0 both times. So you got to be a little scared, but you also have to still be, hopeful and faithful. You beat them 3 straight games. You're still up a comfortable, not comfortable, but you're still up 1 game. Um, so you're right there. You've already done it. You can do it. You just have to figure out a way to get a little more um, pressure relieved when they get so offensive heavy. I think they have to do better with their clears and really try to clear downfield instead of towards that side wall, and just have your second man ready and be there for any possible bad touches that the Bandits may have.
Which we almost just saw an Ongo come out from the Bandits. That would have spelled disaster for them. That wouldn't be the way you want to start off this game, as they do have technically kept Faded from scoring the last two games. They want to carry that momentum and get the first goal here so they can keep the pace of the match at their pace. Frosty trying to find Stack Jam, but they're unable to make anything from the play happen. And Chixa off the sidewall. Chixa to follow. She gets an awkward touch. Doesn't go very far, but does cause a mess up there in the Bandits' defensive zone. But they're able to recover. Air Sweeney with the booming touch. Stack Jam's there. He finds the touch, but Bemar with the great save to send that one away. Bemar trying to follow, get the dunk off Sweeney, but Sweeney is able to keep it away from him. Bemar going to get demoed by Stack Jam. Send him back into his zone. Sweeney gets the touch in the corner. Past Chixa. Stack Jam through Bemar. Eggster making the save there as the ball bounced off of his teammate's car. And Sweeney putting one on. Sweeney with trying to find the double. It goes high. Stack Jam able to clean it up for the Bandits, and they go up by 1 and start things off in game 6.
Yeah, they started off a little slower, didn't score quite as fast as they did the last 2 games, but they're still on fire. That's down to the 9th unanswered goal, and great placement right there by by Stack Jam there, as he saw the defender pre-jump just a little bit, so he was able to tuck that down in the corner underneath Chixa as she had pre-jumped, predicting where that ball was going to be shot.
Oh my goodness, Sweeney coming in, almost getting the second one, but Chixa able to get it out just in time. Half into 50 with Stack Jam in the corner. It does go in favor of Stack Jam, but he gets it a little bit too high over the net, and this is dangerous. Bemar able to get it through, and Bemar ties us up, finally ending the goal drought for Faded.
Yeah, great play right there. Great solo play by Bemar there. Able to beat all 3 of the Bandits defenders, give them a little momentum. You finally get a goal in there in the last 3 matches that they've been in. So that's a huge momentum boost. Tie it up with a half the game still remaining to go. And now this is back to anyone's game, as both teams starting to look to heat back up again.
And we'll see which team is able to do it first, and which team is going to have to go down in the game and or series. Although if Faded is able to get this going here, they only need this win to send the Bandits home. Bandits still need 2 wins to move on to the semifinals. Frosted trying to get it out, but Chixa takes it away from him. Chixa with the aggressive play, but Sweeney is able to make the stop. Stack Jam also being forced to make a save, but does get a booming clear. Frosty in the midfield gets a touch, but it's high. He gets a bump on Bemar. Stack Jam 50s with extra. The ball's up. Chixa in the midfield, but Sweeney gonna stop her offensive push. Bemar and Sweetie 50 off the sidewall. Frosty to stick with it, but Exter beats him out off the backboard. Sweeney with a good touch to clear the ball out. Bemar in the corner gets it through Stack Jam. Air Sweeney puts it down. It's a little bit over. Frosty misses the ball, but gets the demo on Eggster. As we get closer and closer to the final minute of game number 6 here. Faded, not quite done yet, Speed. And who do you think at this point has the edge? Do you think that Bandits are still commanding the pressure here, or do you think that Faded has got it back yet?
Well,
Never
as
mind.
Bemar's gonna put it in, and he's gonna give him that 2-1 lead, with 53 seconds to go. But I was just about to say, I still think Bandits have, you know, a little bit more of the momentum. You know, they're looking good. They're getting bumps. They're making this Faded team awkward and put into bad situations. They are just zooming around this field, still around this Faded squad. But you know, Faded was able to get that 1-goal lead right there with 45 seconds to go. So they are on the brink of moving on to the semifinals. But Air Sweeney puts one on, and Chixa is going to be a solid defensive stud right there and able to make that save and keep her team with the lead.
And Bandits now in the hot seat as they only have 30 seconds left to find a goal just to equalize this and send us into overtime. Stack Jam trying to do just that, sends it down. Eggster in the midfield with the boom, sends it all the way back. Eggster trying to find the double, not able to. Frosty with the demo on Bemar. Chixa looking to find a shot on net, unable to. Frosty awkward and backwards. Stack Jam doing everything he can. Sweeney can't beat Bemar. The final seconds of the game. If the ball hits the ground, Bandits go home. There you have it. Faded gonna take the win here in game number 6 and end Bandits' playoff run.
Yeah, and great showing by both teams here. Bandits didn't quite start off the way they wanted to, but if you know, if they started off hot like they were able to, after you know they went down 3-0, I think you're seeing this go for the full 7 as it's just both of these teams when they're both playing at full potential, you can see what happens as both of these teams just great defensive pressure, great offensive pressure. It's just unfortunate that the Bandits got a little bit of a slower start and they were unfortunately not able to force a game 7 like they were last season.
And congratulations to Faded, able to secure their spot in the semifinals and making power rankings look good as they were able to predict correctly who was going to take that match. And hats off to Bandits. They had a good run coming in at the 4th seed. They were able to have a good season. They had a good showing there, at least in the second portion, if you will, of that series. Starting off a little bit slow, as you said, but they did turn things back around. I was fully convinced that they had what it took to get the reverse sweep there, but unfortunately, they're going to fall just a little bit short. But hey, there's always next season, and we've got about a month or two of off season, plenty of time for these guys to decide if they want to stick with the Bandits, maybe keep their chemistry alive moving into next season. But yeah, great showing from both of these teams. Speed.
Yeah, it really was a great showing by both teams, and you know, hats off to Faded to be able to edge that one out and you know beat the odds and you know great job on the community and the power rankings prediction there to nudge that one out as well as there was a very close odds right there. But Faded will now await the matchup between the Melons and Origin that will take place down on Saturday night. Um, to see who they'll end up taking on. So can't wait for that to happen. And I also can't wait for this next matchup that we have tonight, Psycho, as it will be our last matchup of the night. And we got another 3 seed taking on the 6 seed.
Yes, sir. In the rival league, Galaxy versus the Knights. Knights. It's going to be really, really good. Both of these teams putting in a lot of work this season to get to where they are in the playoffs. Neither of these teams want to let it go. Speed, I want to thank you for joining me here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a short couple-minute break here before we get back into the action. So if you need to use the bathroom, refill your drink, get a snack, whatever you need to do, but we're going to take a short break and we will be right back with some Rival League.